Okay, hello everyone, guys. Good morning. How are you all? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hello, Sunita. Hello, Kiran. Hello, Ruchi. Hello, Shripada. Hello, everyone. Good morning. How are you all? Am I audible? Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible to everyone, guys? Eagerly waiting for Sunita ji. Okay, I will try. Okay, I will try. Okay, so can we start this session? Everyone who is watching this session, just please like and share the video, guys. First of all, just please like and share the video. Everyone who is watching this session, just please, everyone at least like and share the video. Can we start the first question of the class? Okay, so this is the first question of the class, and this is regarding data warehousing. Find the correct statement regarding data warehousing. It is subject oriented. Example, in banking environment, it may be customer oriented, or storing all information including transaction of all type pertaining to a customer. A data warehouse stores non-structured data whose purpose is usually not well defined. The time zone for data in a data warehouse is significantly shorter. So we have to choose the correct statement regarding the data warehousing. Everyone, please answer this question. We have to choose the correct statement regarding the data warehousing. Okay. Hi. Hello, just offbeat. Good morning. Everyone. Okay. Kiran is saying A, Ruchi is saying A, Sunil is saying A, and everyone else. Okay. So every one of you is saying A. Everyone, guys, just please answer this question. Okay. So, data warehousing, it is subject oriented, yes. So, data warehousing, I have told you that data warehousing is subject oriented, where the usual subject is well defined. Like it may be sales oriented, it may be market oriented, customer oriented. So, the usual structure should be defined and the purpose should be defined for any data, right? So, yes, this is the correct one. Okay. Now, a data warehouse stores non-structured data whose purpose is usually not defined. That is wrong. Okay, so first and two, they are just opposite to each other. So either A or two is the correct one. So yes, first is the correct one, second is the wrong one. Now, third, the time zone for data in a data warehouse is significantly shorter. No, it is actually stored for a longer period of time. So the time period which is involved in a data warehouse is significantly longer, say 5 to 10 years at least. Okay. So the correct answer for this is one only. Right. Hi. Good morning, Smriti. Good morning. Good morning, Hema. Good morning, Sunita. Done. Okay. Next question. Which of the following is true about chatbots? Which of the following is true about chatbot? Chatbot require highly specialized programming skill to develop and deploy. Chatbot rely on AI, voice recognition, and natural language processing. Chatbot can perfectly understand complex human speech, including metaphors and smileys. Chatbots cannot be used for customer service or website interaction. Everyone, which of the following statement is true about chatbot? Which of the following statement is true about chatbots? Everyone. Which of the following statement is true about chatbots? Yes, when we are talking about chatbots, see, chatbots are usually used for customer service and website integration, but they cannot perfectly understand your speeches or metaphor or smiles. So this is not the correct answer. When we are talking about chatbots rely on, yes, AI, voice recognition, and natural language processing. So this is an easy question which is true about chatbot. B is the correct one. Okay. Now next. So tech services are used by supplier of hardware, third party vendor, emerging technology vendors, financial supervisory authorities. Everyone, please answer this question. And everyone who is watching this session, please just like and share the video, guys, everyone. So tech services are used for what? So tech services are actually used for what? Everyone, please answer this question. So tech services are actually used for what? Everyone, please answer this question. So tech services. Subtech is supervisory technology. And supervisory technology is used for what? This is a very simple fact based one line question. But again, you are all confused in this. Supervisory technology services, these are used for managing the risk in the financial sector and also implementing the regulations for automating the regulation which are required in a financial sector, that is called as supertech. So these offers technological solution that assist the institution or any financial supervisory authorities. Okay, they help in managing the regulatory compliance which are needed in the any institution in day-to-day basis. So that is the super tech technology or supervisory technology services. So when we are talking about supervisory technology services, it is the financial supervisory authority. D is the correct answer. Okay, it is the financial supervisory authority. Clear? Done. Now next question. Now see this question. Consider the following statement about the standalone system during the early computerization of the bank. Okay, standalone computer. They were primarily used for multiple bank simultaneously for faster data processing. They could later be connected to a multi-user system and function as a node or workstation. They offered high processing speed and large storage capacity compared to the modern server. They were ideal for decision makers like managers and executives for data analysis. So, which of the following combinations is or are correct? We are talking about the stand-alone system. Everyone, read out carefully the question and then answer. Everyone, stand-alone system. Just please answer this question. Stand-alone systems. Stand-alone system. Read out carefully what is written here and then you have to answer this question. Read out carefully. Standalone computer. Don't rush, just read out carefully and then answer. Okay, Krish is saying that is the correct answer. A means second and fourth are the correct statement. Okay, and everyone else, please answer this question. It's a simple question. You can all answer this question. Stand-alone computer system, which are used in the early stage of computerization in the banking system. Stand-alone computer system. Everyone. Okay. So second and four, you are all saying second and four. First statement, they were primarily used by multiple bank staff simultaneously for faster data processing. That is not a standalone computer. First statement is actually for multi-user system. Standalone computer are the single user system. They are not used simultaneously for the multi-user environment. They are not sufficient for that. So obviously first is the wrong statement. statement, they could be later connected to a multi-user system and functions as a node. Yes, yes, they can be connected. Third, they offered high processing speed and large storage capacity. No, they offered limited processing speed because it is a standalone computer which is not functional in a multi-user environment. Then they were ideal for decision maker like managers and executives. Yes, is the correct answer. So second and fourth are the correct statement. First and third is the wrong statement. So yes, A is the correct answer. Every one of you is correct. And this is regarding the standalone computer. I have written you the detail, given you the detail so that you can just easily read out. Okay, the main thing is this. I want to just give you this, that while the standalone system cannot be used in a multi-users environment, they can be easily connected to a existing multi-user system, and other shared information and resources are accessed through this standalone computer. In such cases, this standalone system is called as a workstation, or it is called as a node. So it is not for beneficial for the multi-user system, but it can be connected to your multi-user systems, right? So the correct answer for this question is what? The correct answer for this question is second. Clear? Whereas they have this limitation that they have the slow processing speed, low data storage capacity in a single user system. Okay, done. Advantages are they are have a low equipment cost, less complicated, easy operational system. So advantages and disadvantages are also very important for the standalone computers. Okay, okay guys, any doubt? Everyone guys. Okay, next question. See, now next question, see this question carefully. A nationalized bank as a head office in Mumbai, several regional offices across India, and multiple branches in each city. Each branch uses computers connected within the branch for day-to-day banking operations such as updating ledgers and customers' account maintenance. All branches are also connected to a centralized data center at the head office. So the branches have the computer which are connected internally also, and then the branches are connected to the centralized database also, right? For the real-time transaction like ATM operation and customer data access. Now, based on the above scenario, which of the following is clear? Which of the following is the most accurate classification of the network type used in this bank? All the branch computers connected locally from a WAN, and communication with the head office uses a LAN. Communication within a branch is a LAN, while inter-branch and head office is a WAN. All bank operations are performed over a LAN. The entire bank operates over a WAN, and LAN is not relevant for banking operation. Very easy question. It's a very easy question. Krish is saying D. Okay, Kiran is saying B, Ruchi is saying B, and everyone else. Just read out carefully first the question and then answer. Okay, first read out question carefully and then you can all answer this question. First read out the question carefully, guys. Read out the question carefully and then you can all answer. It's a very simple question. WAN and LAN. You know that what is a WAN and you know that what is a LAN. Local area network and wide area network. Remember, what is a LAN and what is a WAN? Local area network and wide area network. Very simple question. See, when a branch internally computers are connected with each other. Okay, like in a building, you are connecting computers with each other. In internal bank, when a computer are connected with each other, then obviously they use the local area network that is called as LAN. Whereas when all the branches are connected to the head office, to the centralized database, now LAN cannot be used. Now for this purpose, WAN is used. Now for this purpose, what is used? WAN is used. Okay, done? Clear? It's a very simple question. It's a very easy question. Done? So yes, communication within a branch is via LAN, while the inter-branch and the head office communication is over a WAN. Okay. Okay, I have framed one more very good question from this LAN and WAN in the final marathon, because there I have asked you a more complicated and tricky question regarding LAN and WAN, that if there is something down, then it is related to what, WAN or LAN. So I have framed a very tricky question in the final marathon. Okay, so let's wait for that question also. Okay, yes. So communication within a branch is with LAN, while inter-branch and head office communication is over WAN. That is simple. Next, bank's IT manager is choosing between bus and star topology. For a new small branch, the manager says, we need something low cost, quick to install, and okay with 4 to 5 computer, but we might move decks often. This is the statement of the manager. Now, according to this statement, you have to choose the best topology. Bus, star, bus, or star. Everyone, please answer this question. So there is a statement the manager has given that we need something low cost, quick to install, and okay with 4 to 5 computer, but we might move decks often. Then for this, which topology is better, bus or star? Everyone, please answer this question. For this, which topology is better, bus or star? Sunita is saying A, bus, because it is cheaper and easily expandable. Everyone else, please answer this question. Okay, Sunita is saying A, so one person is saying B, then A, then answer. Just answer this question, either A, B, C, or D. Bus topology and star topology. Read out the statement carefully. What is the requirement of manager? And according to the requirement of manager, we have to answer. The requirement of manager, first, it should be low cost, it should be quick to install, and it should be okay with 4 to 5 computers, but we might move decks often. So here Gopal is saying B star because it is easier to reconfigure and isolate. False. Right, everyone. So there is only Hema and Gopal. They both are correct. B is the correct answer. See, why first is not the correct answer? You are saying bus topology because it is cheaper and easily expandable. Bus is cheaper. That is correct. Bus is cheaper, but bus topology is not easily expandable. That is wrong. Bus topology is not easily expandable. Bus is cheaper, that is correct, but it is not easily expandable, right? Now see, bus, because it handle high traffic well, bus actually poorly perform in high traffic. Poorly perform in high traffic, right? And D, star, because it requires less cabling than bus. No, star generally needs more cabling than bus. So the reasons are wrong in A, C, and D. B is the correct answer. So now you can see what is a bus topology and what is a star topology. We have take star topology for this. Star topology, all the nodes are connected. In the star topology, there is a central node which is a master node, and all nodes are connected to a central node by a separate medium or cable. While topology gives the advantage of maximum ability to change. Maximum ability to change, this is what the manager need. Manager says that we might to move decks often, means we need to change the setup also in between, so it give you maximum ability to change. And here, if one node fail, it will not affect the entire network. Disadvantages are it cannot handle large traffic. We don't have to handle large traffic because manager is saying that it should be okay with only 4 to 5 computer. So there is no large traffic. So star topology is good as every transaction has to pass through the central node. So it is low cost, quick to install, okay with 4 to 5 computer and easily changeable also. And that's why star topology is the best answer for this. Okay, done. And why not bus topology? So in bus topology, you will see it offers limited flexibility to change. Limited flexibility to change. So first of all, it is not flexible if we compare it to the star topology, right? Star topology, you can say it is easier. Okay, it is low in cost. Okay, it is quite easy to set up, but it is not giving you the flexibility, right? And that's why in this you will see star topology is a better topology than if we compared it to a bus topology. Okay, done. Any doubt in this question? If you have any doubt, please ask. A very good question. A very good question. Topologies are very important for you all. See, everyone, topologies are very important for you all. Please like the video, whoever is watching this session. Guys, at least just please like the video, whoever is watching this session. Done? Okay, now next question. A bank branch operates a core server room with sensitive financial data. Okay, and few desktop terminals for staff. The server room requires continuous voltage regulated power to avoid any downtime or hardware damage. The desktop terminal can tolerate a brief power interruption and don't require voltage regulation. Now, based on this, which of the following UPS setup is most appropriate? Now, read out the question carefully. So, the question is saying that there is a core server room with the financial sensitive data, and the server room require continuous voltage to avoid any downtime, while the desktop terminal can tolerate a brief power interruption, okay, and don't require voltage regulation. Based on this, which of the following UPS setup is most appropriate in this? Everyone. So there are 4 options. Read out the 4 options and then you have to answer. Read out the 4 options and then please answer. Read out the 4 options and then you have to answer. Okay, now you are all saying C. A. Okay, first of all, use online UPS for desktop and offline UPS for the server room. That is incorrect. Desktop don't need online UPS. Why? Because giving them the online UPS and offline with the uh, offline UPS to the server room, it will be a misuse of the resources, because see, online UPS is more critical. Online UPS should be given to the core server room because we need uninterrupted power supply here. Whereas when we are saying that in this situation, a little interruption in the desktop can be tolerated. So for them, you just give the offline UPS. Offline UPS can give you a little interruption, and that is tolerable over the desktop terminal. But when there is a sensitive financial data in a bank server room, and you don't have to give any downtime to this server room, so we have to give online UPS to them, right? So give online UPS for the server room and offline UPS for the desktop to balance safety and cost, right? If you are giving both the online UPS, then you might have to incur a lot of cost, right? And to avoid that, we should need a balanced approach. So C is the answer. Okay, C is the answer, right? Now next question. Imagine a company collects vast amount of customer interaction data for their mobile app, social media channel and website click. Okay. Now the company wants to make this data available for real-time analytics, machine learning models and future insight without modifying the raw data. At the time, company need a smaller focused data set that can be used by the finance team for specific financial reporting. Which of the following best describe the system the company should use for each scenario? Okay, so there is a company who collect vast amount of customer interaction data for their mobile app, social media channel and website click. The company wants to make this data available for real time analytics, machine learning model and future insight without modifying the raw data. At the same time, the company need a smaller focused data set that can be used by the finance team for the financial reporting. Which of the following best describe them? The company you should use a data mark for both customer interaction and the financial reporting data at it focus on the structured data. Data lake can be used while data mart for the financial reporting data. Data lake for customer interaction and for financial reporting, both structured and unstructured data. And company should use a data lake for customer interaction and warehouses for the financial reporting data. Everyone, just focus on the question and then answer. Everyone, just please try to focus on the question and then you have to answer. Now, you are all saying B. The company should use a data lake for the customer interaction to store raw and unstructured data, and a data mart for the financial reporting data, which is more structured and focused on a single subject area. That is true. But before just choosing this, we have to see what is data lake and what is a data mart and what is a data warehouses. They actually serve different purposes, right? When we are talking about, you just read out this last definition. Data mart, data lake, and data warehouse serve different purpose and need. The key difference is data lake and a data warehouse is that data which is store vast amount of raw data without a predefined structure. Organization need to know how the data will be used in advance. There is a data mart. Data mart is simply a form of data house that is focused on a single subject or single line of business like sales and finance and marketing. Whereas data lake allow to store large amount of structured and unstructured data. When we are talking about the customer interaction, yes, for customer interaction we use data lake because here you will find the raw data, structured and unstructured. Whereas data mart is actually a branch of data warehousing which deals with a specific line of subject, and it is very appropriate for the financial reporting data. So obviously B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. So you have to judge what is the difference between data warehouse, data lake and data mart. Data warehouse are structured data. Data warehouse is what? Data warehouse it. There are different data mart, and when these data mark all together collected called as data warehouse. So there is a line of sales and marketing and for example micro customers, or for example high net worth individual. So every particular line of structured is stored in a well structured form. The single line here is called as data mart, whereas the collection is called as data warehouse. Whereas data lake means all the structured plus all the unstructured data collected, right? So this is the difference between these three. Any doubt here? If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask your doubt. Everyone, any doubt, guys? If you have any doubt, you are free to ask your doubt. Everyone. Okay. Next. Which of the following describe the process of handling transaction in a core banking system? Which of the following correctly describe the process of handling transaction in a core banking solution? Transaction at the branches require maker-checker validation, while the transaction through alternate delivery channel uses multi-factor authentication and are directly validated at the central database. Transaction through alternate delivery channels and branches are both processed without authentication or validation. Transaction at the branch do not require any validation, but transaction through alternate delivery channels require maker checker functionality. All the transaction in the CPS, whether from the branches or the alternate delivery channel, are immediately reflected in the user's account without any validation. So you have to check the correct answer here about the core banking system. Everyone, core banking system. Please answer this question. Very simple question. See, D is saying that all is reflected in the user account without any validation, wrong. Okay. Now see, when we are talking about transaction at the branches do not require any validation, that is also false. They require validation. Transaction through alternate delivery channel are processed without authentication, false. B, C, and D are obviously wrong statement. These are obviously wrong statement because one of them says that it does not require validation. Every transaction require validations, right? So obviously A is the correct answer. Now let me describe you first of all what is a maker checker validation. Maker checker validation, a branch transactions always follow a maker checker process. Maker means the person who is initiating the transaction, like the teller, okay, who actually process the transaction. Then there is a checker. Typically it is an officer or supervisor which verifies and authorize the transaction before it is completed. Okay, so there is a maker who initiate the transaction, there is a checker who just to supervise and check and verifies and authorize the transaction before it is completed to avoid any type of errors and fraud. That is called as maker checker. Every branch transaction follow a maker checker process, whereas the alternate delivery channel like ATM, mobile banking, online banking, they use multi-factor authentication system for the advanced security. Multi-factor means where two or more form of authentication is required, like your password, your OTP, your biometric, etc. That is the multi-factor authentication. Clear? So A is the correct answer. Everyone. Done? Good. Now, next question. Which of the following scenarios best reflect the perspective nature of ethics rather than just the presence of value? A person values honesty but lies to protect the friend from punishment. A manager decide not to manipulate company's record despite pressure because it is morally wrong. A company believes in hospitality as a core tradition. A company respects punctuality and always arrives early to work and employ. Okay, so which of the following scenario best reflect the perspective nature of ethics rather than just the presence of the value? Everyone, please answer this question. Everyone, please answer this question. Everyone. Very simple, very easy question. Okay. So, first, a person values honesty but lies to protect a friend from punishment. That is a conflict between values. It is not a perspective decision, right? So, it is the conflict between values. A cannot be the answer. Then B, a manager decides not to manipulate the company's record despite the pressure because it is morally wrong. Yes, it is actually the correct representation of the ethics. Right? A company or community believes in hospitality as a core tradition. This is a cultural value. This is not a moral perspection. This is a cultural value. An employee respect punctuality. This is a discipline. Okay, so ethics reflected in B, right? So B is the correct answer. Okay, next question. Now, before moving to the next question, this is the values and ethics. I have given you a short note so that you can just revise what is the value, what is the ethic. Value is actually the core of human being, which is stable and long lasting. Whereas, if we talk about the ethics, ethics is the moral standards and values which are accepted in a society and that guides the human behavior. Okay, so ethics are the standards, ethics are the values acceptable in a society, whereas basic value, they are the internal core of human being which are stable, long lasting beliefs. Okay, done. Now next question. Ecowell Limited, a mid-sized MF FMCG company, launches a campaign to plant 50,000 trees in rural areas as a part of CSR initiative. Okay. Meanwhile, it continues to source raw material from a supplier known for exploiting child labor despite having the knowledge of the practice. Internally, several employees raise ethical concern, but the manager justifies their action by stating that the company made all the mandatory CSR expenditure requirement under the law. Now, which of the following situation best illustrates the relationship between business ethics and CSR? CSR activities can compensate for the ethical lapse in the core operation. Fulfilling CSR obligation is legally sufficient to meet ethical standard. CSR is not a substitute for ethical conduct in overall business practice. Ethical concerns are secondary if CSR laws are being followed. Very simple question. It's a logical question. But previous question asks the presence of value means presence of value, yes. So which of the following is the prescriptive nature of the ethics rather than just the presence of value? See the question, Gopal. The question is asking the prescriptive nature of the ethics means which of the following best describe the nature of the ethics rather than just the present of value. So you don't have to judge the presence of value, you have to describe the nature of the ethics rather than only focusing that okay, this is the presence of value. Okay, misunderstood you. Okay, okay, now just tell me which of the following is the correct answer here. Which of the following is the correct answer here, everyone? So here my saying C and everyone else, please at least like the video, guys. Whoever is watching this session, you have to like the video at least, everyone. Just please like the video, guys. Okay. So you are all saying C. So C is actually the most obvious answer. C is actually the most obvious answer. Okay. So here, that company is planting 50,000 tree in the rural area as a CSR initiative. That is very good. But it cannot hide your unethical behavior. So if you are doing something good, can it be treated as a compensation for all the bad thing you have done? No. The bad thing is bad thing. Okay, in the same way, if you are, as a company, you are following the CSR, corporate social responsibility, it will not the compensation for all the unethical behavior. No, you should be ethical in everything, like not supporting the child labor or not exploiting the child labor. That is actually the ethics you have to follow, and you have to follow the CSR equally. Okay, so CSR cannot be a substitute for the ethical conduct in an overall business practice, right? Okay. Next, consider the following statement regarding the evolution of business ethics and corporate governance in India. Okay, business ethics in India have remained strong since the pre 1980s era with no reported unethical practice. Clause 49 of SEBI listing agreement was introduced in 1992 along with the SEBI's formation to ensure instant ethical compliance. Uday Kotak Committee was set up by RBI to improve monetary policy transparency and reduce inflation volatility. And which of the following above statement is or are correct? Only one, only two, only three, or none of the above? Everyone. Simple question. So it is not a case study, it is a factual based question. We have to choose the correct statement here. It's a facts based question. We have to choose the correct statement here. We have to choose the correct statement here. Now, C, Ruchi is saying C, Kiran is saying B, only second, only third, and everyone else, please answer this question. So this is a conceptual, not a conceptual, you just say it is a statement based MCQ. Okay, practice these type of MCQs also apart from the case studies, which is also very important. Okay, so just tell me which of the following is the correct answer here. Okay. Now, first, business ethics in India has remained strong since pre-1980s falls. So during 1980s, business ethics actually falls or declines significantly. Okay. So first is the wrong statement. First is not the correct statement. Clause 49 of SEBI has been introduced in 2005. SEBI Act has been passed in 1992, but clause has been added in 2005 later. So that's why second is also wrong. Uday Kotak Committee was set up by RBI. No, it was set up by SEBI to improve the what? It is actually to improve or strengthen the corporate governance. So not the monetary policy. It is for the corporate governance. Okay, so that's why C is also wrong. So none of the above is the correct answer. D is the correct answer, everyone. Everyone, D is the correct answer. Clear? Everyone clear? Can we move to the next question? Can we move to the next question, guys? Okay. ABC Bank was riding high profits and believed all systems were functioning smoothly. However, an internal whistleblower alerted senior management about the unethical dealing involving fake loans approval. Simultaneously, a major corporate borrower default, triggering financial instability. In the days that followed, the CEO communicated transparently with the stakeholder and investigation was launched. The board even considered replacing some senior leader to restore public trust. Which of the following statement best map the scenario to relevant crisis management? The bank skipped the crisis prevention stage, faced a crisis situation, and it is now in the post crisis stage. The whistleblower report was a part of the post crisis stage, followed by a crisis situation. ABC Bank effectively identified and prevented the risk. The CEO's communication indicates that the organization is still in the pre crisis stage. Tell me the correct answer. Everyone. So just read out the question and then answer. Read out the question carefully and then you have to answer this question. Read out the question carefully and then you have to answer. Okay, Kiran, only one person, Kiran, has said C, and everyone else. Gopal is saying A, and everyone else. Okay. So, first of all, the company was riding high on profits and believe all the system were functioning smoothly. That very first line give you the overconfidence vibe of that ABC bank. That very first line give you the overconfidence of the bank, right? So this is actually a pre-crisis stage. Okay. The whistleblower alerted the situation. Okay. So the bank skipped that crisis prevention stage and then faced a crisis because the borrower default. Then there was one more major borrower who just default. Okay. So it is in the crisis stage where the crisis actually triggered. And then later, the CEO communicated with the stakeholder, investigation is started, some senior leaders are replaced. That is called as the post crisis stage. Okay. So the company or the bank skipped the crisis prevention stage, then they face a crisis situation, and it is now in the pre crisis stage. A is the correct answer, everyone. A is the correct answer, everyone. Whistleblower report was a part of post crisis stage. No, it is a part of pre crisis stage, everyone. Whistleblower policy, whistleblower report is actually a part of pre crisis stage, and that's why B is not the answer, Sunil. Okay, so we know that we have the three stages of the crisis. First stage is the prevention of the crisis stage, or you can say it is called as a pre-crisis stage. It is called as a pre-crisis stage where the implementations should be taken to prevent the crisis, like the whistleblower policy. Then there is a crisis situation when the event triggers, okay, that require immediate action. And then there is a post crisis stage. Post crisis stage means when all the things happen, now you are taking a step to recover, or then you are taking corrective steps to recover. Okay, then it is called as the post crisis stage. Clear? Done? Everyone? Clear, guys? Now, next question. Imagine a fictional bank, Sankal Bank, has a long standing reputation for ethical conduct. Recently, under pressure to boost profit, it approved a series of borderline credit deals that met legal norms but involved aggressive mis-selling of the product to ill-informed rural clients. Which of the following best represent the ethical failure in this scenario? Sankar violated the RBI's prudential norms. Sankar Bank misjudged market competition. They prioritized short-term gain over the stakeholder trust. They failed to expand into the digital banking services. Easy question. It's a question that you can just read and answer. You just read and answer. It's that question. Very simple, very easy. You just have read the question and then answer. Everyone. Only Ruchi has answered. And everyone else, please answer this question, guys. Everyone, just please answer this question. Yes, C is the correct answer. The most obvious answer. We see that they are focusing on their short-term gains rather than over the stakeholder trust. So yes, C is the correct answer. Yes, C is the correct answer, everyone. Yes. Done. Okay. So this is it for today. I think I have to stop this session now. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope that you have all enjoyed the marathon session. You have all enjoyed the marathon session. Thank you so much, guys. The rest of the question I will be taking in the final marathon. Don't worry. The rest of the question I will be taking in the final marathon. Thank you so much, guys, for attending the session. Just please like and share the video to the maximum you can. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, everyone please subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Kiran. Thank you, Smriti. Thank you, Ruchi. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sharmila. Thank you, Hema. Thank you, everyone who have joined this session. Thank you, guys. Ma'am, just a request, please start from 7 a.m. Yes? Okay. 7 a.m. tomorrow I will be having paid class. Okay. Tomorrow we don't have a marathon in the morning 8 a.m. Tomorrow we have the paid class at 7 a.m. Okay, in the morning. And tomorrow in the evening I will be starting the marathon session, final marathon from 6 p.m. From 6 p.m. So tomorrow, your timing for the marathon is actually for in this YouTube channel is actually from 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, continuously we have the final marathon tomorrow. Okay, and then on 8th also we have the same timing final marathon. Okay, and tomorrow morning 7 a.m. we have the paid class, right? In the Oliveboard app, 7 to 9 a.m. I will be completing the whole module D in tomorrow's session. The complete module D. Okay? So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Yes, Ruchi, I will be providing. Okay? Don't worry. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a very nice day. Take care. Bye bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Take care.